Shalom, everybody. Shalom. How's everybody doing? Hope all is well. Thank you guys. If you guys have clicked on this video, appreciate it. And I'm basically just here following up with my video journey, which is my video testimonial, sharing what Yahusha is doing for me, hoping that it will inspire somebody to come find out about Yahusha, and he can do the same for you or even more, right? Because it is you get out what you put in. So again, thank you guys for clicking on it, and without further ado, let me just get into it. I am currently still in the book of Yasher. Yasher means Jasher, translated in English, but in the Hebrew language there was no J's. So wherever you see a J, pretty much there's a Y in it, right? So book of Yasher, and I'll just go right in and then I'll explain as I go. I'm starting from chapter 34, verse 43. And it reads, "And Yashuv, king of Tapnach, said to his people, 'Be courageous, and we will go and fight against these Ephraim.'" Ephraim means Hebrew in English, translated. So he's saying, be courageous, and we will go and fight against these Hebrews, and do unto them as they did unto the city, and we will avenge the cause of the people of the city. And Yashuv, king of Tapnach, consulted with his counselors about this matter. And his advisors said unto him, "Alone you will not prevail over the Ephraim, for they must be powerful to do this work to the whole city. If two of them laid waste the whole city, and no one stood against them, surely if you will go against them, they will all rise against us and destroy us likewise. But if you will send to all the kings that surround us and let them come together, then we will go and fight against them. Then we will go and fight against the sons of Yaakov." Yaakov is Jacob, translated as Jacob in English. "And then we will prevail against them." Okay, so right there, that King Tapnach, what he was the city that he's talking about is the city of Shechem. Shechem was a prince at the time. I forgot the name of the king right quick, but Shechem was a prince at the time. And basically, Shechem city got wasted by the two Ephraim sons that they're talking about. It was Simon and Levi. Simon and Levi went and slew a whole city of men, a couple of hundred of them. I believe like 300-400, something like that. But see, they went and slew them because this prince raped their sister. And according to their custom, if you defile one of her women, death. Your punishment is death. They laid waste of the whole city, though. Yes, they did. And in their eyes, because your prince did this, no one in the city rose up against their prince. No one said anything. Like, everybody was okay with it. And Simon and Levi was not okay with that. So yes, they went and killed everybody in that city. And so the surrounding city now, think of it like it's like a whole nation, right? Like a united nation. And say like one state, the smallest of, like, say it's 50 states, right? And the smallest of the states, they killed everybody there. So the other 49 is like, bro, we have to do something about this. And they're basically like getting ready to come at war with them. One state was going to come, like a larger state than the one that they killed. All the men that they killed was coming to rise against them. But that's where the advisor was advising him. That would be the king, Yushev, the king of Tapnach. That's why he was advising him, like, nah, let's not go by ourselves. Let's get everybody to come with us. And surely we will then defeat them. Because they may have stood up to, two of them stood up to a couple of hundred, but all of them can't stand up to all of us when we gather together. And so basically that's where they was going with that. So I'm going to skip ahead to verse 65, and it goes, and Yitzchak, the son of Abraham. Yitzchak, again, meaning Isaac. And Isaac was that promised seed of Abraham, you know, between him and Sarah, the one he had when he was old. After the birth of his first son, I be trying to tell y'all, this Bible is so juicy. Listen, okay? Because that was a juicy story with that one too. But anyways, Yitzchak, the promised seed of Abraham. So, because Yaakov is Yitzchak's son. They were twins, Yitzchak and Esau. But we're talking about Yaakov at this moment, right? And also Yaakov is the promised seed. That's where Yahuwah, which is the Hebrew sacred name for the Almighty, the creator of all, Yahuwah. So I use his name. That is his name. God is a title. The Most High is a title. All fitting for him. All fitting for him. But I use his name, his sacred name, Yahuwah. Yahuwah. Okay? So when you hear me say Yahuwah, I am just calling the Most High, our creator, by his name. So again, Yaakov was the one, because he was twins, Yaakov and Esau. And Yaakov was the one that the Most High chose to carry along his promised line. From Yaakov line came Yahusha HaMashiach himself, who was Yahuwah in flesh that walked amongst us. Team Yahusha, y'all. You know, don't even get me to go off on a tangent, because y'all know I love me some Yahusha, y'all. Okay? All right, let me stay with the story. So, yes. And so Yitzchak, the son of Abraham, prayed unto Yahuwah for his sons, because he heard talks. And at this time, Yitzchak didn't live where they were, but as you can imagine, word was getting out to everybody. You know what I mean? Because this was a big deal. Like, these kings were coming to defend the city's honor. Like, they felt disrespected. Like, how dare y'all, you know? And so word got back to Yitzchak, and Yitzchak do what he knows how to do best. He prayed to Yahuwah. Okay. And this prayer is recorded, so I wanted to read it. And Yitzchak, the son of Abraham, prayed unto Yahuwah for his son. And he said, O Yahuwah Elohim, you did promise my father, saying, I will multiply your seed as the stars of heaven. And you did also promise me, and you establish your word. Now that the kings of Canaan are coming together to make war with my children because they committed no violence. I just want to pause right there, guys. Notice, even though, remember, Simon and Levi slayed, they killed a whole city of men on behalf of what they did to their sister. They killed a whole city of men on behalf of what they did to their sister. But do you peep what Yitzchak said? He said, and he's praying to Yahuwah, where he ain't gonna lie to him, right? He's praying honest. That's why I wanted to read and bring out and see in the way that they prayed, right? So we can all like learn from that. Like, how did they pray? What words did they use? What was the basis of it? But notice, he said, because they committed no violence. That means in his eyes, they were justified. Thou shalt not murder. Murder means to lie in wait and viciously take someone's life for no reason. He never said thou shalt not kill. Do you see what I'm saying? Because sometimes there's justifiable killing. All right. So I'll go on. Now, because they committed no violence, now therefore, O Yahuwah Elohim, the Elohim of the whole earth, I pray you, the counsel of these kings, that they might not fight against my sons, and impress the hearts of these kings and their people with terror of my sons, and bring down their pride, that they may turn away from my sons. And with your strong hand and outstretched arm, deliver my sons and other servants, deliver my sons and their servants from them. For power and might are in your hands to do all this. Thank you, Yahuwah. Power and might is in your hand to do all this. Thank you, Yahusha. Thank you, Yahusha. It continue. So that ended the prayer from Yitzchak to Yahuwah on behalf of his sons. So now they're picking up where Yaakov is, right? And verse 69 goes, and the sons of Yaakov and their servants went towards these kings, and they trusted in Yahuwah Elohim. When you trust in Yahuwah Elohim, nothing can bother you. When you trust in the Most High, in the Creator of all creations, nothing can bother you. Remember, I talked about this already, like a past couple a video that I did when I showed that even Abraham himself, after being saved by Yahuwah, seeing the glory of Yahuwah, and who trusted wholly in his heart with Yahuwah, a situation happened where, it involved Sarah, and he just became, he became bothered, right? So what my point is to bring that up is to saying, it doesn't matter, like you can be bothered, you could feel like anxious, anxiety, you're human, that's fine. But always trust in Yahuwah. Just always trust in Yahuwah. And it serves you even better. I'll go a step further and say it serves you even better, that especially if you're feeling anxious or, don't tell nobody about it. Because sometimes when you tell somebody something, it turns more into something else. So just trust. That's why journaling is good. That's why I encourage journaling. It's good. Trust in Yahuwah. Again, the point is, I went off on that, is it doesn't matter how you might feel away, but just trust in Yahuwah. That's the point. Trust, even if sometimes you got to talk to your feelings. Hey, I rebuke you, feelings. Get away from me. I trust in Yahuwah. Repeat that enough time and it will become something like for real. The point is, always trust in Yahuwah. No matter what the battle looks like, trust in Yahuwah. Okay? All right, so we go back again. And they trusted in Yahuwah Elohim. And while they were going, Yaakov, their father, also prayed unto Yahuwah. And he said, and this was recorded also. He said, O Yahuwah Elohim, powerful and exalted Elohim, who has reigned from days of old, from thence till now, and forever. You are he who stirs up wars. Okay? You are he. This is Yaakov, Yasharel, his set aside one. Oh, I don't even know why that just make me tear up. I don't even know why that just made me tear up. That's so weird. But because Yahuwah is just thank you, Yahuwah. Like for real. I don't even know why. I don't even want to go off on like a tangent, but Yahuwah is just so real. Like I fear Yah so much. I love him, don't get me wrong. But I also do fear him. I wouldn't do certain things. Even before I was fully devoted to him, even when I was just walking with him and holding his hand, I wouldn't do certain things because I feared him so much. Guys, he's not to be played with, for real. And one day his patience is going to run out. It's going to run out. All right. Whew, I didn't even see that coming. But okay. Thank you, Yahuwah. Thank you, Yahushua HaMashiach. So again, yes, he said, you are he who stirs up wars and causes them to cease. So in other words, yeah, you are he. You could stir up the war and you could make them cease. It all happens through you. Then he says, in your hand are power and might to exalt and to bring down. Oh, may my prayer be acceptable before you. You always want to pray like that. You know what I mean? Oh, Yahuwah, may my prayer be acceptable before you. just that right there is just humbleness to me. Like that's just showing like how humble he is. Like, please, yeah, you know, it's as if he's like, please, Yahuwah, you know. Okay, continuing. That you may turn to me with your mercies. Thank you, Yahuwah. That you may turn to me with your mercies to impress the hearts of these kings and their people with the terror of my sons, and terrify them, and that terrify them and their camps with your great kindness. Deliver all those that trust in you, for it is in you who can bring people under us and reduce nation under our power. Isn't it interesting, guys, how Yaakov and Yitzchak kind of was praying like the same prayer, because they know who Yahuwah is, right? That was kind of interesting to me. Like they weren't even around each other, and they were praying the same prayer, like, Yahuwah, please, you know, help, because they know what Yahuwah can do. Yahuwah, please, you know, put terror of us inside these men's heart, you know, because again, they know they're Yahuwah and they know what he can do. All right, so we're gonna skip down to chapter 35, and I want to just pick it up at verse 2. Again, I'm gonna skip for time purposes, but I encourage you guys, like, please go and read the word on your own. It's good to have a relationship with him. Yes, it's good to talk to him. Great. But if you're not reading his word, you don't know. You don't know. You won't have faith. Faith cometh by hearing the word of Yah, and you can't hear if you don't read. So read it for yourself. Yes, have your own relationship. That's what the greatness of what Yahusha did, that we don't have to go, you know, to a particular place so you know what I mean, to like go seek him or whatever. But you can, because you know, I hear people say, oh, I talk to God on my own or whatever. But if you don't know the word, you won't have faith. And if without faith, you can get yourself into some stuff, and your very soul depend on it. Okay? All right. So verse 2 in chapter 35. And Yahuwah heard the prayers of Yitzchak and Yaakov, and he filled the hearts of all these kings' advisors with great fear and terror, that they unanimously exclaimed. So what that meant, remember earlier in Yitzchak's prayer when he said, because my son did no violence. And again, his sons killed some people, but it was a righteous act. You see what I'm saying? It was a righteous act. Yahuwah heard it. If there was something wrong with it, Yahuwah wouldn't have answered it. No matter who you are, because Yahuwah, he is, in the name of Yahushua HaMashiach, he's harder on his called out people with safeness. And he let my mouth just say that. He's harder on Yasharel, his called out chosen people, than anybody else. Why? Because they should know better. So what I'm saying, he's a fear Yahuwah. And again, so it ain't no favoritism here. You see what I'm saying? So if they had said something wrong, oh, he would have corrected it, he would have adjusted it, he would have chastised that, you know. Okay, so he hearkened onto it, because then just like Yaakov said, oh, may my prayer be accepted before you. It was, because he hearkened onto them. Okay, so he filled their hearts with terror, just like they asked. And their advisor's heart was filled with terror, because see, these kings, they, you know, listen to their advisor. Their advisor say don't do it, they ain't gonna do it, right? Which I think an all wise person, when you have a wise counselor, like, you trust in them. You get what I'm saying? So they didn't do it. All right, now remember, we started off with what the advisor was advising these kings to do, right? Yeah, you know, don't you go by yourself. One state, like I said, look at it as a state. One state, don't go by yourself, because you saw what they did to that state, even though that state was small. But let's get the rest of the other 49, and we all going against them, and we definitely going to defeat them that way. Okay, watch Yahuwah work now, right? Because that was their free will telling them that, right? And now here's what Yahuwah is going to say through them. See, y'all can do anything. Thank you, Yahusha HaMashiach. Wow, man. All right, so now here they go after the prayer. Surely you know that their Elohim is exceedingly fond of them, right? And has done mighty things for them, such as have not been done from days of old and amongst all the Elohims of the nation. Because again, Elohim is a title, like God is a title, and there is other gods. Don't get it mistaken. That's why when I'm even calling him in English, I like to say the creator, because he created all. Okay? Everybody, every other God, the biggest one, the God of this world, Ha-Satan, all them fallen angels, like, yeah, he has an enemy, okay? But that's another study for another day. So that's what they're saying right here. Like he's done mighty things for them, such as has not been done from all the days of the whole, and no other gods of any other nation have ever done that. He said, surely he delivered their father Abraham, the Evri, from the hand of Nimrod, the mighty Nimrod. He was the king at the time with the Tower of Babel, that whole situation. And from the hand of all his people who had many times tried to slay him. And Yah kept delivering them. He delivered him also from the fire in which King Nimrod had cast them into. And I spoke about that too in a video before. And then I'm going to skip down some chapters. Like I said, for the sake of time, I'm just going to, skip down some chapters. And surely you know that the Elohim of these Ephraim is much delighted with them. And they also delighted with him, for they know that he delivered them from all their enemies. Delight in him, guys. Delight back in him. Because don't he always deliver you from stuff? Delight back in him. That part right there just kind of touched me, because I'm like, dang, man, we're living in a time right now, bro, 2022, where it's like people's lost the love for Yahuwah. Bro, don't be that, please. Delight back in him. He's worthy to be delighted in. You can't even earn him. There's nothing you can do to earn what he did for you, but you can at least delight in him, which is what I'm trying to do with even this. That's what it is. No rhyme or no reason, that I'm just trying to, because I delight in him. And just hoping, like I said, that this, even if it reaches nobody, man, it's just that at least for me, I'm hoping that it glorify him, because I delight in him. I delight in him. I delight in him. Thank you, Yahusha HaMashiach. All right, and it continues. And behold, through his love towards his Elohim, Abraham took his only and precious son and intended to bring him up as an ascending smoke offering to his Elohim. And had it not been for Elohim, who prevented him from doing this, he would have done it through the love for his Elohim. Love him like that, y'all. Love him like that. He didn't even require any of us to test anything like that. And yet still we come on, love him like that. Oh my Yah, love him like that. Thank you, Yah. Again, we can't earn him. Nothing we can do to earn him, but we can at least love and delight in him. Delight in him. Delight in your Yah. Thank you, Yahuwah. And Elohim saw all his works and swore unto him and promised him that he would deliver his sons and all his seed from every trouble that will befall them, because he had done this thing. And through his love to his Elohim, stifled his compassion for his child. I want to skip ahead again some verses and just read verse 21. And when the kings of the Amorim heard all the words of their advisors, their hearts were filled with terror, And they were afraid of the son of Yaakov, and they would not fight against them. For this proceeded from Yahuwah to them, for he heard the prayers of his servants Yitzchak and Yaakov, for they trusted in him. See that? For they trusted in him. And all these kings returned with their camps on that day, each to his own city. And the sons of Yaakov kept their station that day till the evening opposite Mount Shikon. And seeing that these kings did not come to fight, they didn't even know, because they thought they were coming. They was just prepared, like, listen, I know we prayed and I know Yah got us and we trusted in Yah and we ready for battle. We don't care. We just preparing. But Yah dismantled them. They didn't even know that. They just was trusting in him. So they standing at their posts and they waiting. You know what I'm saying? Waiting. And they waited. And seeing that these kings did not come to fight against them, the sons of Yaakov returned home. The power of prayer. The power of prayer. I want to skip chapter 36 right quick, and I'm asking you guys just a little bit more patience, please. Just a little bit more patient with me, right? Y'all can give y'all a little bit of time, right? You know what I'm saying? Just a little bit more patient with me. Okay. So skip to, I wanted to continue on, because the thing is, they came again to fight them. You know what I mean? Because that happened, they dispersed, and then a couple of years passed by. So I'm skipping a couple of chapters right quick, right? And a couple of years passed by. And after so many years, because where Yaakov and them had lived, they had moved away and then they came back. So let's say they used to, this all went down in Rhode Island, right? And every other 49 state came to beef with them. And then say like they moved to like Canada, right? Just to give an example. And after a couple of years, like 10, 12, 15 years or so, they moved back to Rhode Island. And now remember when they left Rhode Island, the city was wasted, you know what I mean? But by then they rebuilt their city now and everything, and everybody just pretty much forgotten about that. So now they moved back to Rhode Island, again, just, the city of Shechem, it was called. They moved back to the city of Shechem after a couple of years, and word got around to the officials like, yo, these Hebrew seeds, like, they're back in town and they're feeling some type of way. Like, how dare y'all come back? Like, we done rebuild our place, and like, how dare y'all come back? So please, I just wanted to just follow on that part, please. Thank you guys for your time. All right. So in chapter 37, I am going to start from verse 14. Right, again, I set the premise already. So they heard that they came back, and everybody came to war against them again. All 49 states came back again to war against them. Like, and this time they're like, no, it's going down. All right. And so verse 14, and Yaakov prayed to Yahuwah for his sons, and they spread forth his hands to Yahuwah. And no, he spread forth, sorry. And he spread forth his hands to Yahuwah. And he said, so this time I can imagine he's even more desperate than even the first time around. You know what I mean? Like the thing is hyped up even more, right? And he said, O Elohim, you are El Shaddai. You are our Father. You did form us, and we are the works of your hands. Oh, that made me tear up again, because I don't know. It's just like whenever the word gets so personal and intimate with us and Yahuwah, it just always like makes me tear up, because he is our Father regardless. You know what I mean? He is our Father, and he did form us, and we are the works of his hand. Thank you, Yahuwah. I continue. Thank you guys again for your time. I continue. I pray you deliver my sons through your mercy from the hand of their enemies, who are this day coming to fight with them, and save them from their hand. For in your hand is power and might, to save the few from the many, and give unto my sons, your servant, strength of heart and might to fight with their enemies, to subdue them and make their enemies fall before them. And let not my sons and their servants die through the hands of the children of Canaan. But, I like this part. That's I even highlighted this. Because he said, but if it seems good in your eyes to take away the lives of my son and their servant, take them in your great mercy through the hands of your minister. Ministers right there could be better translated through the hands of your angels or your messengers. Okay? That they may not perish this day by the hands of the Amorim. And when Yaakov ceased praying to Yahuwah, the earth shook from its place. Look at Yah. Wow. The earth shook from its place, and the sun darkened, and all these kings were terrified, and a great consternation seized them. And Yahuwah hearkened unto the prayer of Yaakov, and Yahuwah impressed the hearts of all the kings and their host with terror and awe of the sons of Yaakov. Now look at this. Remember a couple of things ago, I know this went on a little bit longer than I wanted to, but to Yah be the glory. If you guys are still here, thank you, right? To Yah be the glory. Because remember a couple of verses ago where when the advisors was even telling them like, man, no other God has been able to do what their God did, essentially. You see that there's other gods and evil at play, right? But none is like Yahuwah Elohim, right? Because look, once they hear that, shouldn't they have did what they did the first time? But nah, something else is at play here. Look, if you peeps these, because skip on to verse 22, it says, but they did not retreat, saying it would be a disgrace to us thus twice to retreat from before the Ephraim. Peep sense. There was something else at play there, okay? And the sons, I'm going to skip down to verse 24. I'm telling you, this book is so exciting, man. I encourage you guys, please, 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 please get into it yourself. All right. And the sons of Yaakov called unto Yahuwah. See, now this time, even the sons is praying because they're coming up like battle is coming. Okay. They're like 150 men or probably less. These people are like over 10,000 of people coming against them, and they come in and they seeing that because they saw what just happened after their father just prayed. The earth shook. That didn't even happen the first time, and they saw nobody came. But this time the earth shook, the sun darkened. Oh, the battle is on. Oh, the spiritual battle is on. But these sons see that these people are still coming, so they knew something. So what happened now? Everybody praying. Because sometimes a team of prayers got to go. Everybody praying. Now, even the sons of Yaakov, sorry to even be shouting, but even the sons of Yaakov, everybody praying. Everybody praying. The point is of that's why I wanted to bring it out. Don't matter how hard the battle scene that is getting, you pray, 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 pray harder. If you see it coming tough, you pray, 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 pray harder. It don't matter. You pray. You got to keep praying. You got to keep moving. You got to keep praying. Oh, by one of my favorite artists, Zoya Royalty and Isham Burgundy. Check them out, guys, if you guys never heard them before. But they got a track called You Got to Keep Praying. Doesn't matter how it looks. You got to keep praying, right? And that's what they did. And they pray, and they said, and their prayer was short, but doesn't matter. Short, it doesn't have to be long. Very effective. Okay? They said, help us, O Yahuwah. Help us and answer us, for we trust in you. And let us not die by the hands of these uncircumcised men who this day have come to fight against us. Right? And I will skip ahead. I am almost done now, guys. Almost done now. Thank you guys for being here. And the sons of Yaakov caused 15,000 of their men to fall, and they smote them as if smiting gourds, and the rest fled for their life. 15,000, but it wasn't. So I said 10,000 a little while ago, because I think it was 10,000 the first battle, but this was even more that it came, and the battle still wasn't even over yet. Thank you guys so much for staying. I'm almost done, I promise you. And skip on to another chapter, verse 26. And the inhabitants of the city reproached the son of Yaakov from the top of the wall, and they cursed them. And the sons of Yaakov heard the reproaches, and they were greatly incensed, and their anger was burned towards them. I made this note because that's a part of that righteous indignation. Sometimes you gotta get mad. Because at this point, like I said, I skipped out a lot of the story, but they was battling. It was a couple of days. Okay, imagine you just marked 15,000, and there's still more coming up. Still more coming up to fight. All right, I'm trying to hurry up. This part also I wanted to highlight, right? So they get basically to the last part, the last city that they're battling, the last city. And when they said they saved the best for last, because they did, right? They saved the best for last. And so it says, and those 12 men maintained a strong battle against Simon and Levi. And Simon and Levi could not prevail against them. See, it's a reason why. Thank you, Yahusha. Simon and Levi could not prevail against them. And those valiant men broke the shield of Simon and Levi. And one of them struck at Levi's head with his sword. When Levi hastily placed his hand to his head, for he was afraid of the sword, and that the sword struck Levi's hand. Peep this, y'all. And it wanted but a little to the hand of Levi being cut off. So that means because Levi went to block, because he went to hit him, like to take his neck off, right? And Levi went to block it. And it was so that it, like a little, so it's like a little of it was hanging off. But peep how, I'm telling you, it's so great, bro. Like, peep how great it is. With that little hand that because Levi caught hold of that sword with that hand, mind you, it's like almost hanging off. So you imagine. And he said, with that hand, he took the sword, he took it forcibly from the man, and with it he struck the head of the powerful man and severed his head. Let me continue, because I went over that longer than what I wanted to. So let me continue. Please go and read the story, bro. Telling you, no movie can do this justice. Okay, like no marvelous company can tell this story better than how it's written. I'm trying to tell y'all, man, they took our story, bro, like for real. But let me continue. Okay, so verse 40. And 11 men, so it was 12 valiant men, right? And then 11 more of them now approached to fight with Levi, for they saw that one of them was killed. And the sons of Yaakov fought, but the sons of Yaakov could not prevail over them, for those men were very powerful. And the sons of Yaakov, seeing that they could not prevail over them, Shimon greatly gave a loud shrieking, right? And Yehuda, who was far off, they was fighting some other men, right? Because this was the last city of the fight. And Yehuda, at a distance, he heard the voice of Shimeon, and he know the shouting. So him and Naphtali ran with their shields to Simon and Levi, and they found them fighting with those powerful men, unable to prevail over them, as their shields were even broken and stuff, right? Okay, so then the word got back to Yaakov, who was somewhere else, but Yaakov now had defeated all the people where he was at, right? This was just so dope to me. I'm like, whoa, bro, like, whoa. And so Yaakov, their father, he was sorely grieved when he heard what was going on with Shimeon and them. Like, there's these 11 dudes that they just can't prevail over. And Yehuda is even there. Yehuda, Judah, okay? He was even there, and he still, all three of them couldn't prevail against these 11 men. All right, look at this. Sometimes we're human, but trust in Yahuwah. Look what Yaakov did. Yaakov was sorely grieved. He was sorely grieved. And he prayed unto Yahuwah. That's why I wanted to I'm like, thank you guys if y'all are still here for real. But that's why I wanted to I just couldn't cut it short because I'm like, yo, man, the power of prayer. Like, bro, even after all of that, after by now they've killed thousands and thousands of people, right? But this 11 dude, and it's like, where are they from? And they, they're so powerful they can't even, but mind you, look how one of them end up dying by a half severed hand of, come on, man, we can't even make the story up. Like, yo, this is so dope. And you know what I mean? I just get so excited about it, like, for real. And so Yaakov hear it, and he's grieved, like, oh my goodness. But what did he do? He prayed unto Yahuwah. Now that part they didn't record that prayer because I'm saying everything moving so fast. He probably just said the one through like, Yahuwah, renew me with the Ruach HaKodesh. You know what I mean? Like just a renewal right quick because there's power in the tongue, And he and Naphtali, his son, went against these mighty men, and Yaakov approached, drew his bow, came nigh unto the mighty men, and slew 3 of them. Boop, boop. That's 4 down, right? 4 down, 8 to go. Come on, bro. Like, stop playing. You know what I'm saying? And he slew 3 of them, and the remaining 8 turned back, and they started like trying to flee. And when they was trying to flee, they ran into Dan and Asher, because I'm suspecting by now everybody's seeing what's going on over here, and everybody done killed out everybody from their turf. And the 8 men ran into Dan and Asher, and they suddenly fell upon them and fought with them and slew 2 of them. Right? And then now leaving just 6. Come on, man. And Yehuda and his brother pursued after the rest of them and smote the remainder of them all. Okay, thank you guys, like I said, for staying. I knew this went longer than I wanted it to, but we were talking about the power of prayer. Like, it is what it is. Like, bro, can you imagine the power of prayer? And I also, real quick before we go, I wanted to read something from the book of James, right? So that was that I just finished up that, but I just wanted to read something from the book of James real quick. All right. So in the book of James, chapter 5, verse 16, it says, confess your faults one to another and pray one for another, that ye may be healed. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man avail much. And we know that they were righteous. You know what I mean? Because they was men of Yahuwah. They were righteous. And especially at that time, they were righteous. Okay? Because sometimes you can be in a position where, okay, real quick, King David come to mind. At that time when he did what he did to homeboy, go find out the story for yourself. At that period in time, he wasn't righteous. Then he had to go and repent to Yahuwah, and then after that, he became righteous again with Yahuwah. So my point is, like I said, the prayer of a righteous man availeth much. So it's not just any man, of a righteous man. That's why I wanted to read that, just to, for y'all to hear what the word said. So if you're not righteous, your prayers is not going to be answered. Or what might be answered by some of the other gods of the nation if they should be so kind. I mean, I don't know how Satan do his business, you know what I'm saying? But if they should be so kind. But if you want the prayer of that Yahuwah, that of Yahuwah, not that of Yahuwah, you have to be righteous. Oh my goodness, like I said, this went longer than I wanted to, but if you guys made it all the way to the end of this, thank you so much, which really you should, because if you say you love Yah, I mean, come on, you know what I'm saying? What's giving him one hour right quick, Thank you guys again for listening. I appreciate you guys, and as always, I am just encouraged. Please, please, please get into the Word. Get into the Word. Your very soul, guys, your very souls depends on it. Not even that it might, it do depend on it. Get into the Word. Because I serve an awesome, a mighty God, y'all. Okay? All right. Thank you guys again. See y'all next time. Peace.